We had a little technical difficulties. Nothing to offer streams. Back again. DayZ Part 2. There'll be 2 videos with DayZ Part 2. What the change this one to DayZ Part 2 Part 2. Huh. Well, I'm not doing it. I had like I don't know, internet blip, I guess is what I'd call it. Could have been OBS freaking fault too. I just upgraded OBS like an idiot. Yes, I do own this game. Internet. Ugh. I mean, Xbox. Alright. It happens. Let's get back into it if we can. DayZ is so weird. Ah, my dude is lost. Oh well. Well, let's start from the beginning again, I guess. It's okay. Where were we at? I bet it won't let me in. We're gonna play Halo again. No, let me in. That's what happened yesterday, is it like wouldn't let me back into a server after I kind of crashed. Or I forget exactly, but I exited or something. And it didn't work. This won't work. Nothing to offer streams. Technical difficulties. DayZ. Been having like fantastic time trying to get DayZ to work. Not only is it a buggy game, it is just been kind of a pain to figure out how things are going. Alright, so it's raining. Yay. Let's start from scratch. I was doing pretty good there. I had a gun, a couple guns. Not many bullets, though. The shooting feels like it just doesn't. It feels weird. It's weird shooting. You don't feel like you're making contact. You just have to hope your bullets are going the right direction, I guess. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah. I bet those zombies have terrible indigestion. Don't you hear him making like indigestion noises all the time? This has been looted. Of course. I wish there was like an easy way to take zombies out. Because I could sneak up behind this one and just go or whatever. I guess if I had a knife, maybe it probably is. You probably do that. We ain't even messing with it. We're just gonna go around. It looks like they spawned someone kind of right around here because they dropped their pants and they dropped a shirt and they just left it. Uh, oh, if I was smart right now, I would just dip into go north. I got crackers and boots, man. I don't need anything else. See, in this game, it's like good to like kind of like leave the doors open because like the next guy's gonna know. I mean, it's not like the tactics of leaving the door, closing the door behind you isn't as strong as say, uh, okay, the bandage up now. But these houses are connected. Okay, I need to choose these bandages. The bandage thing, it's okay. Like start you out with good bandages, but then like later in the game, it's hard to get bandages. So you end up like using clothes, but you have to make sure they're disinfected, or you're gonna get infected. Of course, for you. Chucks. I wonder if they're real chucks or knockoffs. They're probably knockoffs, of course. They're always knockoffs. I'm just following somebody else's path. I need to figure out like divergence. Man, they went through all this crap. I don't like how it's like not smooth when I close the door. It's just clunky. Everything is clunky. Oh yeah, somebody was in here already. They closed the door behind them too. I think what I should do is probably find a weapon, like a pipe or something, and then dip north. It's not looking good for our dude here. Well, we're dipping north. Dude, the Scott S, the zombies, they're insecure, so they need hugs. They need validation. See what they're doing though? Let's try to it's like I don't know. I want to say my mom or somebody. They're coming in for a hug, and I'm trying to run away. It's not working. I should just turn and face them. Oh, it's not. It's a different one. But still. It sucks. Come on, buddy. You got anything good? No. I gotta bandage myself. I should just do it right here. They want a mean hug. Is there a shower in this game? I don't know anything about this game, so it's like it's all new to me. I know there's a lot of stuff. I just don't know. Dude, it's underwear. I try to change it every day. Honestly, I don't. It usually smells pretty bad after a day anyway. Even like maybe if I don't do anything that day, I can't even. You know what? If you go swimming in your underwear, maybe in like the ocean or something like that. Oh, did he see me? No. You know, maybe you could live with it for a day. But man, after like a day, my underwear smells so bad. And they have like stains in them and stuff. I mean, it turned out okay. Let's see what's in here. Oh, did what? The hoe's actually not a bad weapon. Yeah, I guess if... I mean, that would be considered washing it, though. That we're talking about, like, how long would you wear underwear? How long would you wear underwear without changing it? Like, say you had to. Say there was, like, underwear police going around and checking to make sure that everyone had them on for at least 3 days. But you get, like, bonus points for wearing them longer. I guess I would just wear them until they fell off. To hell with the heck with the smell. In that case, if the secret police are going to come and detain me if my underwear hasn't been validated to be a certain days old. You know what? They should have underwear in this game, and then like the underwear gets gross. Like that's why it's so granular on what it does. You know, why don't you have underwear? Because you have everything else. I mean, if you take your clothes off, you see the underwear. Here, I'll show you that in a second. Well, never mind. But you know, if you take all your clothes off, you are in underwear. Ooh, what's this? Sweater and a knife. Ooh. Yes. Now I can do things like cut rags. The Fruit of the Looms challenge. That's like that TikTok challenge where that dude didn't defecate for a couple days. It was like everyone was excited about it, I guess, but I was thinking to myself, man, he's either lying or, you know, I don't know. For me, you know, I don't think that'd be that big of a challenge. Ooh, yeah, we need that right now. Yeah. Yeah, just eat the whole thing. In war zones, how zombie war zones specifically? I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. I don't. I certainly, you know, you can take clothes off of the zombies in this game. So I guess if underwear was a thing and you needed underwear, then you probably could get clothes, like underwear from zombies. I should check some of these houses. They don't seem too looted. Ooh. Yeah, see, that would be cool. You know what it is? Is that like this game is based on the ARM engine, which is a tactical shooter type game. I mean, I think we all know that. But the reason why it's cool is because it does have that minutia of things. Because it was designed to be just like a tactical, I don't know, whatever you want kind of game. And then they put this like mod on it that added zombies and stuff. Ooh, is that a single shot shotgun? No, no. Oh yeah, here it is. That was a double barrel. What do I got? I don't. It's broken. Oh no, it's not. How many? I got 2 shots. Oh. And like a concept like that would be cool, but they'd want to create it from scratch. And what the problem is that when you create stuff like that from scratch, it doesn't have like the minutia thing, so it's like not as good. And they leave out like things like laying down. Laying down is so important in a game like this, and I think people don't really realize. That would be a cool game. Like that would be a real cool game. A game where you're looking for underwear in San Francisco, or like just this kind of game. I mean, the thing is, they've done that, and it was a failure. That game, oh, what the heck was its name? I forget. It was a big thing because they were like hyping it up like it was going to be the next DayZ. And then it ended up being just like an asset dump kind of flip scam. The Last of Us. No, not The Last of Us. That's a different game. Yeah, the knife is nice. Ooh, I'll take that plum. How's our health? Health is going down. What's that? An ashtray? A liver pate. Yeah, no, it wasn't the Last of Us show I was talking about. It was something else, but it had zombies in it, and it was like that. It was like a city zombie hunter kind of game, and they ended up like it was just an asset flip, and it was a scam. Last of Us is cool, but it's not technically. It's not like this either. I'll play that on stream one day. That's more of a. I would say it's a corridor story game with zombies that are not zombies. Have you seen that TV show? Do you like it? Did you like it? Oh, yeah. Just wait till the next season. No spoilers. I don't think I haven't watched the TV show. So, but if they're gonna follow the pattern of the shows versus the seasons, that story is really good. I mean, it is. I played both of the. Uh, I played both of the games, and they are excellent games. They kind of make me a little bit. I get a little stressed out when I play them, like too much. That's why I don't play them a lot. They're too stressful. Uh, and really depressing. The end of the whole second game, and even the first game is a little depressing, but that second game is really really depressing, and like just like get your guts in your fist and pull as hard as you can, kind of stuff. Your heart is dropping, and it's just like they make you act as well. I don't even know. Like I said, no spoilers. If you haven't played it, I don't want to take that away from you. It is a special experience, and when I say special, I mean special. No, it's actually a special experience. Yeah, it's a good story in the game. Yeah, they say the show's really good. It got not academy. It got accolades. It got a lot of awards, and people were talking about it. Oh Man, I wish I had a compass because I'm trying to go north, but I have no idea. Oh, I was trying to find this tower, I guess. Oh, I found the tower, but there was nothing up there. No. Like, I have no idea where I'm going. One thing about this map is that if you hit the edges of it, it'll just keep going and it won't tell you. I have played it cursory. You were talking about Detroit Become Human. I have played that game on a cursory level. It's a good game. That whole series is pretty good. Well, it's not. Is it a part of a series or is that a separate game? Maybe I haven't played that. I've heard good things though. Maybe I'll play that on stream actually. Now that you bring that up. People talk very highly of that game as well. Maybe I haven't played that. I think I'm getting confused with another game. A StarCraft. Didn't they already try that? A StarCraft-based Momorphica? Like you're talking about StarCraft, the old like world. What do they call those? It's like an isometric view, but you like use your. I think when I say that, I think somebody tried to do something like that, but there's been there's so many Momorphicas that are like that just don't make it. That sort of just end up becoming like. I think Amazon has had two recently. That one of them they just end a life, and then they kind of. It seemed like they made a new one that was sort of like that one. Oh, I would recommend the new Diablo to an extent. I played that on a stream a little bit. Um, I don't know. My number one is still Diablo number one. I don't think they've ever I don't think they've ever come and made a game better than that. Diablo 2 is probably close. 4 is good, and it definitely has a lot of multiplayer aspects to it that sort of they are like. I'm trying to think of the way to put it. It's like multiplayer. It seems like it wants to be a little bit like a Momorphica, but it's not. To me, it's not really like a Momorphica. It's more like a. I don't know. It's like they have blended stuff like that. Yeah, Diablo 2 was good. I just don't think it beats the first one. Graphically, it does, and especially the remasters. I don't think they've ever come in, and that's a personal opinion. Flag me all you want. It's like Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like a Blizzard thing. WoW does it. I like to change colors of my clothes. I'm like all about wearing different color clothes. I don't think it's a girly thing. I think I'm not a macho dude, I guess is what it is. Being macho isn't a survival instinct. It's not something that you know what I mean? People take it for granted like it's supposed to be part of who we are, but oh. I didn't know that. I thought you could change the color. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of MMOs you can change the color of clothes. Uh, Maybe it's just I played WoW a long time ago, for a while, and I just didn't. I've played a lot of MMOs since then, and I haven't really. Most of them you can change colors of your clothes somewhat. You have some control. It takes like a whole item though, and you maybe have to pay money for it sometimes. It depends. It seems like a Well, I know that when people want that high level armor set, they want it to look nice and look cool, with like orbs flying around and fires and like stuff like green flame and all that. Do you play OG World of Warcraft now? Do that they have it? Or do you play the new like the basically I don't know what you'd call the mainstream one, but whatever the modern one is. The retail modern, yeah. Have you tried the OG one? It looks interesting because I think that's more like what I played because it was so long ago. I feel like I would. Well, I want to give it a try for the channel because I did Albion Online and I kind of hated it. I didn't hate it, but it just there's a lot of things that I think it was just generic about, and there's probably better versions of almost anything in that game. It's definitely like, you can kind of find like a second life in there. A lot of them more because the good ones are really like engaging like that. Like you end up finding it's like easier to find your niche in the game than it is in real life. My thing is the money. It's just expensive. It's an expensive, like overall, it's just a pretty expensive thing to be into, you know. Because you pay, I mean, you pay monthly still, right? Or do you? I guess you get to the point where you can grind it out. Oh, crap. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Should have found somewhere to hide. Oh no! This might be the end for our dude. Ah! It's not looking good. No, run, buddy, run! Don't eat the crackers, run! Jump, jump! Oh, shit. This is it. Dude, our dude, no, our man. Sorry, I led you astray. I should just. Ugh. $13 a month. That's not actually that bad now because it used to be like 20 or something, 15. Uh, DayZ. Okay, we were doing all right that time. I was actually getting inland, and I just messed up. I should have just kept the knife. I could have, you know what? With the knife, I could have taken that whole horde out basically, and we're gonna respawn random here. Yeah, it's the zombie hugs. All right, where are we at? There's the ocean. Yeah, they always spawn you at the bottom part of the map, and then you need to go north. And like all the stuff down here is because they spawn everyone down here. Everything is like picked over. But before you go north, you should try to find something like at least a weapon or it's some food. I have played Elite Dangerous. I liked it. I could play that on stream actually. I played Starfield like a little bit too. I didn't like Starfield that much. I feel like the space mechanics are kind of like leave a lot to be desired. I do like space, but what I'm really looking for is like an in space simulator. So like you have to fly the ship and stuff, sort of like Star Citizen. But I don't want to say Star Citizen. That's like a bad word, right? But honestly, the detailed level of the way that all the space stuff works in that game is kind of closer to what I want than Starfield, where it's just like a on rail shooter, and then you're there. Space, 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 space. Games, 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 games. Space games, 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 games. I feel like I want a good space game. I feel like there just isn't. They haven't. It just hasn't happened yet. Like they haven't really nailed what like a good space game is yet. Yeah, see, they have underwear on. You can see it. It's like but it's just like you know, where are we at? Hiking pants, yes. And then I guess that's yeah, they're like longer. I guess I should go towards the buildings more. I'm gonna have to try Elite Dangerous. You know, I think I played a long time ago, or maybe I was playing a game that was like, maybe I played it like really. I know you can. I know that whole story about that guy getting stuck in space, and they sent like a whole fleet of aircraft or spacecraft out to get him. I thought that was Elite Dangerous, and it was like a big thing. He was stuck out there, and they had to uh, basically do like weird stuff because he was far, really far. I'm gonna have to give Elite Dangerous a try here. There's so many games, you know, so many games out there. It just never ends. Like it's like today I was thinking about Orcs Must Die. Like I kind of want to play that game. It looks fun, you know. I just hope I have enough time to play even a percentage of them, you know. Yeah, it's like I know that it's like a single player, or it's not. Is it? It's not single player, but it's like a single purchase. I guess is the best way to say it. How much multiplayer is in Elite Dangerous? Yeah, the underwear. There should be more underwear mechanics in DayZ. I agree with that. I'm gonna write a letter, dear. Uh, you know what's funny? I have had indirect communication through Reddit with Bohemian Studios forever because they got Vigor and I've been trying to get them to make this like fishing game in it. They won't do it though. They keep on just I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Their games are you know what's funny? Both these games I play a lot. I played Vigor quite a bit and I played this quite a bit and I don't think I like either of them. Like I like them, I play them, but they're just so buggy and just things about them are weird and it's like I don't know. Bohemian. They got, you know what though? They do have their eye on, or they do have they're on the pulse of what is a. Oh, I got a virus. What's that virus? Oh, probably from being wet. they got they're touching the pulse of what's popular in gaming, but also the games that they're making are like weirdly popular, like infamously popular because of just things about them. Like if you go into the this game, if you go onto the I need to just drop that. If you go onto the forums for this game, it's just a lot of people kind of complaining about the game, basically. And it's like they're never going to update it because it's. I think they're at the point where the engine, the original engine, is kind of just. You know what I mean? It's like too. It's already been kind of pushed to the edge of its life or whatever. Pushed to the edge of its capability. So yeah, it's a buggy mess, but it's just lucky that it plays. I mean, they're lucky that it plays, or we're lucky that it plays. I don't know. Maybe unlucky. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. So there's like groups and like multiplayer. Yeah, that sounds fun actually. I've been trying to figure out more games that I can play with the subscribers because they seem to like that. It's tough because you end up getting people in your party, and it's like a management thing. It's just like I don't want to do management. I just want to play a game here, guys. You know, but also it can be really fun and rewarding sometimes too. So it's a trade-off there. Oh crap! It doesn't have the PUBG thing where you can, like, it doesn't feel like PUBG when you close the doors. PUBG has this real slick way of kind of everything works in the door. Okay. I need food. I'm trying to think of how to deal with this. Oh, oh, this no. Uh, Maybe they'll just go away if I hide in here. I can't jump out these windows, can I? No. Hiking boots. Yeah. Oh. All right, we're just going to YOLO it. So that's cool that it uses a joystick, like a throttle joystick. I don't know if I would have one, but well, I don't know. If I got into the game, I would think about it. People always bring it up when they're talking about space games because Starfield was such a big deal recently, and then in every conversation, it was always like Starfield, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous. People talking about how like Elite Dangerous did some things better, and they like it better, I guess. Oh no, 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 no! Oh crap! 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 Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm donezo here. Oh yeah, Wing Commander. The which one? I played I played some Wing Commander in the past. The one with Mark Hamill, is that a Wing Commander game? Probably showing my age here. They had that movie too, that Wing Commander movie. The End of Wing Commander. I think I played three. If that is a thing, like years ago. It's so far ago I don't even remember hardly. That'd be something I would like to play those games maybe in stream. I think some of the older PC games are a little bit well, it would just be a boring stream. I'd just be sitting there playing some old PC game. It's probably on GOG though, I bet. Yeah, it is bad. The only thing I liked about that movie was how they showed the space travel. That was the coolest part. The rest of it, yeah, it was a terrible movie. The actor in it was what, for Freddie Prinze Jr. or something, and then I forget who the other people were in it. Yeah, bad movie. Uh, but it had a cool like the way it described the space travel, the jump was I thought that was actually like a almost redeemable. Not that it's gonna redeem a whole movie, of course. That's like a 5-minute sequence or something. I don't know. I always try to find good and bad. I guess I'm kind of a positive guy like that. Oh yeah, he was like, yeah, the guy from Scooby Doo. Hmm. I'm just gonna go north and just cross my fingers. Which way is north? Is there a map? I thought there was a map. I don't know. Oh yeah, TIE Fighter's a good game. It's funny. I was just playing a game. That recent, I guess it's the recent Star Wars X-wing game or whatever. I don't know. It was a VR. I played it in VR. I thought you could play the TIE Fighter in that. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it looked nice. I don't know. They kind of like dumbed down the space travel a little bit, the space stuff. Yeah. Star Wars is funny because there is a good story in there, but there's a lot of like video games that just have like basic no nothing stories too. There's a lot of media that has basic nothing stories in Star Wars that just don't. I don't want to mention the Acolyte because I think there was meant to be more there, but some of the shows are kind of like just Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. Ugh. Like it did a couple cool things of showing us some things in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Well, this game doesn't have a story. DayZ, I guess the story is there is a story. It's that the zombies took over, and you're a man trying to live in the broken world, in the remnants of the broken world. Look, I'm like mixed. I think there's some good ones. I kind of liked Mandalorian and Grogu until they just like shoved it down my throat so much that I hate it. Um, the Andor's pretty good. I'd recommend that if you haven't seen it. Andor is really good. We'll see what the second season brings. What else? Like I said. Okay, doing all right. Don't need food. Don't need bandages. No, I don't need any bandages. Okay, a lot of zombs up here. A lot of zombs in this world, in this area. Although the Acolyte was real bad. There's been a couple that have just been really bad. The Acolyte was. I had a long conversation about the Acolyte. Oh yeah, you know what? It used to be that like I'd watch a lot of stuff that they did, and then Disney being the devil. I don't know if it's like that bad. I just think that they have a lot of corporate minds in that world, and they are just like they are taking any creative crap they have and they are just squeezing it till it's nothing left. It's like that little, like they got Star Wars, they had that little toothpaste. Instead of like, designing more toothpaste to put in the toothpaste tube, they just wrung it down and then squeezed it, rolled up the bottom until it was like all the way pushed to the top, and then pushed like the little remaining life out of the top, and then they just threw it away, and they're like, we'll just make new toothpaste, or something like we can, and then they can't figure it out. And I guess Marvel might be the same way. The one thing is that the Marvel universe has a lot of potential, but dude, if the best they can do is Wolverine and Deadpool, not that that's a bad movie. I loved Wolverine and Deadpool, but I don't think there's 9 movies that you're going to base off of that movie. You're not going to get a free Avengers series like Part 3 on that. And everything else they've released since the end of the Thanos arc has just been utter garbage. But that's the thing. Yeah, it is about to change, but we'll see. They said that, it was about to change after Thanos too, and what did it change into? A pile of garbaccio. It's just garbage. Honestly, I have a lot of hope because I'm a big Marvel fan, just like comic books wise, and just that whole, like, everything about it. I love that stuff. Oh, he saw me in the window. Go away. I'm not gonna be able to hit him through here. Should have a gun. Oh, I can hit him. Just stand right there, buddy. Yeah. I want that hat. My problem is that the Wolverine Deadpool movie made so much money that just get ready for a lot of that. And for better or for worse. I think they're just too reactionary. Like it's going to be that the reactionary. They made some money. They squeaked out some money with the satirical movie. It was Ryan Reynolds, but that movie was a Disney movie. It was all that money came from Disney, and they are gonna. I mean, that's my fear. You know what I'm saying? It's not really an Avenger movie. Or a comic book movie. It is satire. It's a very, very thinly veiled satire of comic book movies, and it's actually like the most insidious part of it is that it's funny and good, because that is what that's what's going to make the suits that can't tell the difference between the modern Captain America stuff and why that's garbage and this stuff, and they see no difference to them. It's just units of entertainment, right? There's no difference in that stuff. The Samuel Jackson show, I don't know if you saw that. It was garbage. But it was designed to kind of be garbage, I think, or not garbage, but designed to be a certain way, but it wasn't good. But there's no, like, the suits at Disney see no difference to that. Between, like, for them, it's just like, oh, this one made more money than this one. That's it. That's all they see. I don't know if that's true. I think after this, yeah, I heard that. I don't know if that's true. Like I said, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna make. Yeah, it's the problem is the suits don't make stuff. They're just suits. They're business people, right? They're good at doing business, but like management and stuff like that. But to them, there's no difference between garbage art and regular art except how much money it can make them. And that's a big problem with Disney. I mean, they get stuff and they don't understand why making a movie of Mandalorian and Grogu is a bad idea right now in the current climate, because they don't understand the source material and the fans or anything. They don't understand. They think, oh well, Grogu, that show upticked. It was popular for a while. We had a bad season, but we're gonna just dump more money into it. Oh, the superhero suits. Yeah, no, getting back to the source material. That's what they need to do. Or, look, the source material ain't working. Maybe they don't know how to do that. Get back to what made them money, which was the Avengers. And straight up, dude, that was what made them so popular, was the stupid Avengers. And I know they're quote unquote going to get back to that, but they're not going to get there. It's totally different. It's going to be totally subversive and weird. And we'll see. I have low hopes. That's my problem now. Is like I did have high hopes, but now I have low hopes. The whole thing about Kang, that could have been cool. I know there's like morality issues because that guy beat up that woman and stuff, and he got in trouble and with the police and stuff. But and I'm not defending him. I think that maybe what they did was the right thing anyway, I guess. But the whole thing was I was so prepped for like a Fantastic Four, Kang, multi-dimensional kind of big old war. And dude, because that guy beat his girlfriend up and got hit, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Doom, Doctor Doom. I don't even know if I care. I don't think that that's going to bring it. Honestly, I think that's just another decision that made me go like, what the heck are they thinking? Like, really, when I heard that, you got me all fired up, man. I'm so sorry. I'm going to take a little bit of a breath here. But you know what? That was just another decision that made me think. I don't know what they're thinking. That might work or not. I don't think it's not going to save the franchise or have any kind of like output. Yeah, Doctor Doom. So they're going to bring Doctor Doom in, and he's going to be the villain for the Fantastic Four, and that's fine. I'm kind of under Fantastic Four is going to be like a big question mark for me if it's actually going to work out in this modern, in the modern climate. I hope so. I always liked the Fantastic Four stories, but they're silly. It's just like you got the Super Science Man, and you got the Brick Man, and you got the Invisible Woman. It's just silly. It's like silly. It's a silly thing from the 50s and 60s. And you know what? It really works as satire, like the Venture Brothers. The Fantastic Four and the Venture Brothers, and that whole like idea of the comics of the time. It's like really works as satire, but the reason it works as satire is because the day of that kind of comic is gone. The day of that kind of comic has, it's not popular anymore, and it probably wouldn't be because they don't. There's a million reasons. I think I'm not. I don't know how to exactly get into it. Yeah, that's what, Scott S. You bring up a good point that they're using it as kind of a feint to they're saying Doctor Doom and they're gonna bring him back. Yeah, I died. Took too much damage. Didn't have enough help. Didn't have enough food. It's all right. We're gonna try again. Yeah, I mean comics are weird too. I don't know. I still enjoy the X-Men comics, even the new ones. I think they're so weirdly spacey, kind of all over the place that appeals to me a little bit. I don't like the thing about the X-Men comics, or just comics in general, is that they never get anywhere. There's like there's a million entries in them, and they're all just like expensive. You're the first person to say that to me, to bring that up. That it's just the Doom character is basically probably not true. It's probably just going to be Tony Stark again. That would make more sense to me. It's kind of what I thought in the beginning. Like I just assumed he was going to come back as Iron Man. I mean, why? We were talking about just trying to do what makes it, what's popular in the beginning. Selfie time. To me, though, they're just grasping for straws, though. Like they just are. Oh, an Iron Man from another universe. Yeah, I mean that can happen. They have they set themselves up to be able to. I think as far as comic books go, they are the only ones in the movie universe that sort of have been able to pull off the multiverse, even to the point where like to the point where people want to see multiverse movies. Maybe not. I don't know. The fact that the transvariant time authority or whatever was in Deadpool kind of is. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But it felt like it was like you can almost answer any question with dimension travel. Oh yeah. No, it could be cool. I'm really like because they. I mean, I guess it's the joke of it is that they probably are just gonna bring him back for Iron Man. I, you know, maybe they have to save it. My problem with it is I just don't think that there is like I just don't say I don't know. Just like nervous that they're gonna screw it up. I guess not really. I mean, who cares? Really, it's just a movie. But I'd like to watch some good like comic book movies in the future that aren't just. I don't even know what was the last comic book movie that was any good. Oh well, I guess Deadpool and Wolverine. But like an actual comic book movie that was telling a story that wasn't just. Uh, did you watch the Rebel Moon movies? Not to change the subject. I mean, we can continue to talk about whatever, but they felt like comic book movies to me, but they weren't comic book movies. And they're sort of like, it seems like people like them and don't like them. Like it's sort of half and half. Oh, yeah. It would. I mean, that's the thing about the multi-dimension is you can really do a lot with it. So you can bring these characters that have different backstories, and then see, sort of set them up to see uh, how things, what I mean, like make interesting setups. They have the Thunderbolts coming out, which is like the evil Avengers. That's gonna be the start of the new Avengers, I guess. But you know what? They all are gonna just be characters that we don't want to see, like the Iron Man that is the girl, from the Black Panther, Ironheart, which I thought was a great concept, but in the comics it works. I think that movie was garbage, and I would be sad if I was a fan of that series and they released that with thinking trying to sell like a decent movie to me. I feel like it's sort of divisive like that. Like, how do you beat up on Black Panther? I like Black Panther. I like the first one ish. It's not. It's better than the second one. That second movie is really bad. You know what? I feel like there'll be a backlash for the woke. I mean, it's not like I'm not like anti woke. I feel like there is. We should definitely have more representation in our media of other kind of people. But I don't think sticking like having a character that is clearly designed to be not the type of person and then just sticking a certain person like archetype in because that's what's popular, that doesn't make any sense. Like clearly that is not popular, and I don't know why you keep doing it. If it's a movie where the characters are clearly like designed to be that way, I mean that's what makes sense. I don't know, and definitely having like other representation if the acting is good and the character fits, like I'm all for it. But it's like when the character doesn't fit and the acting is bad, it's just a pretty face. I mean, that's when no, no. Engine in the back? What is that? A Lotta? No, that's not even. What is it? A Tatra? A Tatra. You know, the Acolyte is a great example of like why woke doesn't work. Basically, I don't know if it's that story. It doesn't make a lot of sense either. But I just didn't like. I didn't like the actors. You know, I just didn't like the whole thing. I don't. You know what I mean? I didn't think that was helping them that show at all. You know, if they had like a really decent story and it like fit, I could have probably bought into it. But the story didn't make any dang sense in the end anyway. It was total garbo. I'm tentatively excited about the new Marvel stuff. I did like the Loki show. Yeah, you know that the Ghostbuster movie. So the second one, I just watched it not too long ago, and it's not very good. The I think that those characters kind of fit that. They fit in that show a little bit. Actually, the girl fits more than the boy. I think the boy he doesn't really have a lot to do most of the time. The Wolfhard or whatever his name is. I think they're just trying to appeal to a younger crowd because all the Ghostbuster fans are dying off because it's so old now. Yeah, it was like okay. That's what I would call it. I think it did some things like I hope they make more stories in that world. Yeah, you know, I'd like to. Oh, I can only wear one. I want to wear that. Oh no, I can wear both. I'd like to see more stories in the world. I'd like them to take it a little bit more seriously with the stories. And yeah, Loki is great. Loki, that whole series was really good. That's what it, you know. That's why they're putting the TVA into stuff now is because that was popular. So the suits are like, oh well, that was popular, so we'll put it everywhere. That'll be our show. It'll be all the TVA and Grogu. That's what we'll make a show called the TVA and Grogu. That's the two most popular things for the kids, you know, for the kids. Anyway, yeah, Frozen Kingdom. Like I was saying, I wish they would take it serious with the story. I wish they would. There's too many main characters in that show. There's too many characters to get any one character development anywhere, you know. And I know it's supposed to be a big old fun time for the kids, and that's fine, I guess. But you know, Ghostbusters is supposed to be like a little scary. We're busting ghosts here, you know, or at least something. I don't know. Maybe it was scary. I had a hard time kind of focusing on all of it. Anyway. I'd like them to, you know what? If we're gonna make Ghostbusters movies, we're gonna make good ones. I want the people that make Ghostbusters movies to look at that stupid '80s cartoon because that is the best one. The stupid '80s cartoon, the old one with the crappy animation that had like the voice from Garfield as Venkman. That one. Go look at that show and then make movies like that show because that show is good. The monsters are scary. It seems like a really dark kind of world. You know, it's anime. It's actually it's funny because a lot of that I think it wasn't an anime show. It was American, but I should have worn gloves. Um, but I just think it does it well outside like the first two movies. I mean, the first movie, the second movie, I'll defend. I'll say if you cut all the stuff out with the baby and that stupid dude, the assistant, and most of the stuff with what's her face, you have a pretty decent movie there. It's only about 15 minutes long, you know, but bustin' makes me feel good. I'll do song. It's part of my channel is I do song requests if you want me to sing a song. I can't promise I'm going to sing it good well, but I will sing it. Do 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 do. Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Oh, that was lucky. but how many bullets does it have? One. One bullet. Do 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 do. I think the problem with doing that, even if they didn't follow my directions and look at that show, is that that show was designed to have the four main characters. You really need to slim down how many characters are in Ghostbusters now. There's too many. Keep the girl. Get rid of Wolfhard. Get rid of all the old dudes. Maybe Dan Aykroyd can stay. I don't think Bill Murray wants to do it anymore, so let him go. Just let the man go. I mean, stop throwing money at him, please. Winston, sure. Definitely keep Winston. But don't have him suit up or anything. That's just cringe. I know it's like, we should have been doing this 20 years ago, in the 90s, if you wanted to have them return. They spent all the time when they had any kind of appeal to just not making Ghostbusters. And now it's like, oh, well, we want to make Ghostbusters because we're out of ideas, says Hollywood or whatever. And it's just like, well, the actors are 9,000 years old. We blew it. We missed our shot. Well, and then the corporate suit that makes decisions over there does a gigantic line and finds a hooker and then forgets about it for another 9,000 years. Sorry. Yeah, that's exactly right. There's too many plot lines in that, and it wasn't a good script, like, at all. It was like, let's get the images of the Ghostbusters on screen for the kids so that the kids can buy into it. Well, kids aren't stupid, man. I know that like movie people think kids are stupid. Kids like good media. That's why they like One Piece. That's why they like anime, because anime, for better or for worse, it tells good stories generally. It also tells some weird stories too. It depends. There's a lot of anime, but like the good stuff that people like, there's decent stories with strong characters and interactions in those. Kids know that. I mean, it's a basic function of humanity to understand a good story. It's like, you know what I mean? We've been telling stories around the fire forever. It's just something basic. It's just basic kind of like understanding that we have, and kids have it. So when you put some garbage out like Frozen Kingdom, like, the parents are probably more, like older folk are probably more excited about that. They'll go watch that in the theater than I didn't go to watch it in the theater. I watched the first one in the theater. I like that one. Yeah, I think the wolf and the daughter need to man up a little bit. They don't seem, they're like very childish. He's just chasing tail the whole time, and she's like, the only serious character that I even like. I do like that character, that girl. She seems like she's like hardcore. I think that there's a lot to work with there. She's a good age too. You could keep her going, but like, she doesn't have any support. I think Wolf, it's just a paycheck to him. And other than that, the character is just all he's doing. I don't even like. And then the parents being part of it is kind of questionable too. Not that I hate those, not that I hate the actors. I like the actors, and I think they're doing a good job with the role that is given, but I wonder, like, when I'm watching them, I just wonder why they're there sometimes. And that whole thing is like, it just goes together, like, all of it goes together to make me just really wonder what is happening over in Ghostbusters land. I want scary ghosts. I want scary ghosts, and I want them to have to be like exterminators for these scary ghosts, like the concept, the original concept, like a little scary, not too scary, not too scary for kids or anything. It doesn't have to be a horror movie, but like, it's just like the original show had some scares in it, kind of funny scares, like, get her, it's like, that was fun. And they just try to revisit the same thing. It's just like, can't you figure out anything new? It sucks you can't go into any of these buildings. Like, you think there'd be things in these buildings. You could hide in these buildings too. Yeah, I know. They just revisit the same crap. That's not what I'm saying. So don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm bringing that up as an example. To whoever's listening to the suits that are listening to this, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. Don't just redo the same thing. Come up with something new. It's just a scary ghost. Do the boogeyman. Like I said, you got one. You got a ghost already. The boogeyman. You know. I don't know. I don't know if the boogeyman would be like a great ghost. He's sort of silly, but in that show, he's terrifying. In the cartoon, his big old teeth. Nah. And not only him, there was a couple other ghosts in that show that you could probably resurrect. Yeah, that's another thing. They had that guy who is just he's that comedic actor who is funny. I like the actor, the comedian. I forget what his name is off the top of my head, but uh he's funny, but like why did you need what did we need another exactly right. Like we didn't need that. That took a lot of time. It slowed the plot down like crazy. When the plot was going on, all this stuff was happening, and then they're like, oh well, let's take a minute to introduce a brand new character so that they can visit. It's like a video game. He was going to be the guy in the library that you would interact with to unlock the library. Stuff in the library, whatever you needed from the library, you would get from this guy. And then it would be like, you know what I mean? And it was like the firehouse was Winston or whatever, or the science place was Winston, and the firehouse would have been Wolfhard and the girl, and then Dan Aykroyd's bookstore next door, or whatever. I don't think it's next door in this movie, but yeah, I need that. Uh, you know what though? I am a fan. Like I want them to make a good Ghostbusters movie. I know they can do it. Like I know all the stuff is in there to do it. The people in charge, man, just don't have. I don't know if it's who it is or what they're doing, but they don't want to write good scripts. They don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to go do anything that's like, even sort of questionable or fresh. Need some food. The other thing is, it's kind of hard to believe that they would have that girl hanging out of the car in the middle of New York. I just don't. I guess it's like gas lamp. Oh, are they gaslighting me? That's a little hard to believe, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, character driven, spooky, but silly. Like spooky with a little silly. Like, you know what I mean? Like it has to be a little silly for kids. Like spooky for kids. You know, and then heroic, a smaller set of people, right? Like, put Wolfhard in there, put the girl, Egon 2. That's what I call her, Egon 2. Uh, and then I guess who else? Who would be the top four? Right? The kid, maybe the other two kids. There's two kids, right? You can't put Wolfhard's girlfriend in there, or put Wolfhard's girlfriend in there. Take Wolfhard out. You can't have both. It would just it's cringe. Split the kids up. I think it'd be funny if it was more like just they were just like rat exterminators, where it was like, like the first show, it was like they were just doing a service. They were just exterminators. They were tired, overworked, underpaid. It was like they were dirty, and that was what made and it seemed like just a show about like these guys that were working for the city or whatever, working as exterminators in the city. And that's where I think that the every other movie since then has kind of gone away from that, except for that cartoon. That cartoon is like encapsulates that whole thing perfectly. So make it like a job. It's not like this beautiful thing being a Ghostbusters. It's like I'm doing this so I can afford my baby mamas. You know what I mean? I can afford to feed my children and pay for my apartment. I'm dirty. I'm covered in ectoplasm. That would also be an interesting concept. That was Dan Aykroyd's original concept. Excuse me. Is that the whole world has been overtaken with ghosts. So the Ghostbusters is just a franchise, and you just buy into the franchise, and then you have to, basically, you have like different offices that have, uh, in different locations. That would be a cool concept too. What you could do then? That Europe would be cool because the ghosts would be cool in Europe, I'm sure. Now you're calling him Egon too. Now you're calling her Egon too. I actually don't know her name. I should know her name. Yeah, and they're like developing or something. That's like a whole TV show worth of content, though. You know, small stone. I don't think I need that. Need food. There are like plums in the woods here somewhere. There's food in the woods. I just don't know how to get it. See, that's the thing. That's the problem. We've been talking about it for 10 minutes, and we've just sprawled out into kind of like there's no silver bullet here. There really isn't. And that's I think one of the biggest problems is there's no there is no just like perfect continuation. The franchise thing would be cool because then you could have different kind of ghost busting machines, like the different Ecto ones. Like, the franchise in the Midwest is probably gonna have Ford trucks or something, or not Ford trucks, but just trucks. Pickup trucks as the Ecto one. Or in California they might be like, I don't know. I don't want to get too like culturally specific here, but like I don't know, Teslas. Let's just say Teslas. Yeah, and then it would give credence to all the people that want to just make their like Honda Accord look like a Ghostbuster machine. You know what I mean? Because then they would have all the different franchises. They could all have different Ecto ones, and you know what? In that world, you definitely could be a Subaru Ecto one, Ecto Subaru, Ecto Subi. You know what I mean? That would fit in the world, and then people could like. You always see that parade with the Ghostbusters cars, and it's just like, oh well, the first one's like kind of close to a meteor. The second one is getting closer, or maybe not as close. You never see an actual like, the meteor because it's impossible. They're impossibly rare. But you see a lot of the Cadillac other years of it and other different because it was a coach builder car, so you see like the other different coach builders that are like the ambulances and the hearses. Uh, the what else? Oh yeah, and then then you start to see like pickup trucks with the Ghostbusters livery, and you see like Subarus, and it would make all sense. It would make sense for the fans. It'd be like and they could even do it like say this is the concept. So you know Egon 2, Wolfhard, and the whole family stay, and they're the ones. Basically, something happens. That's the inciting incident. Something big on the whole planetary scale. Like I don't know. Say it's a solar flare. Phoebe Spangler. I should remember that. Egon 2 is kind of. Let's less letters at least. Yeah. So the inciting incident is like solar flares, or we could go Night of the Living Dead with a. an asteroid or something that's like giving off some kind of special radiation or something. It has to be permanent if we're gonna do franchises. But so maybe it's a really slow moving asteroid. The what happens is the specter rate goes up in the whole planet on a planetary scale. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Like they're over there and they can't, like nobody cares about. They actually like the ghosts. Maybe they're in Paris and the French are just like into the ghosts. They like having the ghosts in their house and they're just sitting there. The ghost is like trash and shit, and they're just smoking cigarettes, going like, I don't know, saying French words, avec whatever. But they're like, and then the Dan Aykroyd and the podcast, they want to be like, yeah, they want to be like doing their job there, but the French just like kind of like the ghosts and are real stubborn about it. So the inciting incident is there's worldwide ghosts now, so they have these franchises, and the franchises the family stays and they're like the first Ghostbusters, but then also they have to go into the world now. And dude, I'm telling you, I could do it. I could do something. My problem is the characters. I don't like a lot of the characters that I would get podcasts, but he'd have to grow up a little bit. I think he's like 15 now. I'd want him to be like 17. I think he's a little young. The thing is, I get what they're doing. Like, it's for kids, right? That whole movie's for kids, so it's like kids will watch it and they'll like the stuff. I mean, kids like Ecto One no matter what. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, there is a level of like getting younger people interested in it, so that then those younger people will. That's where the money comes from. The older people we're gonna. I'm not me. I'm infinite, but like other people, I feel bad for them. Yeah, so we make podcasts a little older. We make Phoebe. All the kids are a little older. Maybe even Paul Rudd dies. I don't know. That's pretty sad. But maybe the mom dies. Somebody dies, and they have to grow up, and then take care of the business. But then also at the same time, maybe not Paul Rudd. Somebody. Maybe you know what? You got a bunch of old guys. Just kill off Bill Murray. He's been wanting to be killed off forever anyway. I'm not. So that's the internal that's the internal inciting incident, is that somebody that was taking care of the finances or whatever, or the shop passes away, or maybe they get kidnapped. I don't know, it could be either way. I guess for kids we probably want to make it so that nothing's eternal, but then they have to set up a franchise for the Ghostbusters, because they keep on getting calls from people in like Des Moines and Paris and Moscow, and okay, crab people, the crab people, crab people, the crab people. Sorry, I read that wrong. You said crap. I thought you said crab people. Crab. I'm helping. Crab people, the crab people. We are people and we are crab people. Crab people, the crab people. I wish I was like original enough to be funny. That's so derivative. Do love that show though. One of my faves. As far as this game goes, I don't know. I need to find some food. Uh, I thought there were bushes with plums or something out here, but I can't seem to find them. Somebody's watching this. My understanding is that there's a way to live in the woods, just without anything. You can just come in the woods and there's like stuff, but I don't know how to do it. I should probably research a little bit. The heck is that? I love the way it sounds. It reminds me of the woods. My person is just going to die here. Unceremoniously in the woods. That being said, if I can find some food and water here, I'll bring them back. I forget if I think it's a guy actually. Bring them back. I got allergies like crazy lately. Ugh. If it's not dog dead, it's allergies. Streams are just being affected. Come on. Nothing. No, it's been picked over too. And there's a bunch of zombies in here. Is that a mushroom? No. I bet I get sick, but I need some mushrooms out of this. There'd be mushrooms in here for sure. Oh, here we go. I had a gun and everything. The wrench is working, but... Death by tree. Oh, we're gonna... I hit custom. I meant to do random, because... Whatever. It's the same character. It doesn't really mean anything. All right. Ooh. I have an appointment at 2:30. And my brain is like... Last night I was like, well, you'll get off of streaming about 12:30, and you'll have good 2 hours to get prepped. And then it's already 1 o'clock. So now it's like, in my brain, it's like, I wanted to get the stick. Oh, there it is. Oh, should I take? I'm going to take. And I'm going to take this too. Take. See, I don't like eating steaks. That's the only thing early on in the game that I would expect that you cook. Every once in a while I'll find people steaks. I don't eat people steaks, though. I won't do it. Not in this game, at least. Maybe if I cook them, I don't know. You can grow vegetables, so not into eating people. It's funny they give you the choice. I think long term, if you're getting serious about it, you just cook it and you're fine. You get all those bits and you just cook them up. Good thing I got this stick. Yep, well, that happens sometimes. We'll see if I come back here. Now I'm like, another 30 minutes will be fine. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man again. I mean, I guess that's what I thought initially when they said it. But Doctor Doom seems cool. I mean, they needed Doctor Doom. Man, that whole Kang thing made me so mad. Yo. I almost died twice. We'll see. This is probably this is guy's gonna be short lived. He's sort of making it, but see, I think Disney should have given Kang, the guy that played Kang, a second chance. They should have made him go through like rehab or something. You know, he didn't know any better. I'm not like, I'm not trying to defend the man. He definitely had a night out with a girl and beat her up. That happened, yes. But rehabilitate the man. Yeah, I'm saying so. Yeah, that's what you do. You kill Winston off. Like he has a heart attack or something. Old man. He has some kind of thing, and he turns into a ghost. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Uh, is he an evil ghost? He could be. Probably not. Maybe he's evil. Maybe he's been turned evil, but he needs to be like. That's the whole point of it. Is like we're trying to free Winston. I feel like maybe not killing Winston off isn't great though, because he's like he's like a linchpin of the whole series now, and he's young enough that he could still star and stuff. So maybe not Winston, but he's the most involved. It seems like Bill Murray would be the easiest one because he's involved the least, but he's also probably like the most beloved just because of Bill Murray. Yeah, that's a good point. I think Wolfhard does need kind of a male. Like he seems like he's just having like growing up kind of thing, but there's nobody like. I think there's like for his character in those movies. I think as a character, he doesn't have any kind of growth or a lot of like plot kind of time at all in either of them, and I think he's just there. Um, and it sucks because I think he could be a good character. I mean, he has a little bit of angst. That's all I know about him. He has a little bit of angst. He's a teenage boy, has angst, and he has a girlfriend. He's discovering females. Yeah, get Winston in there to help him. I think Paul Rudd is funny in the movie, but I think he's kind of pointless. I don't think there's much point to his in the for his character in the movies. I think he's just there because he's popular. He's funny. He's funny. There are things that he does that are funny in those movies. Give me some Ant-Man with Paul Rudd, please. Give me some Marvel character. So what's the big bad then? So I think that's one thing is the villains have been kind of like generic. So who's the big bad of New York or whatever? Who are we fighting? It could be Zool again. It could be uh the Boogeyman. I would bring up the Boogeyman. I know the Boogeyman is sort of silly. It could be J. Edgar Hoover. That'd be funny. A cult. Yeah, like the cult. You know, that the human cult aspect they did in the Ghostbusters with the women. The I don't know how to differentiate it. Was it 2016 is the year, right? Ghostbusters 2016. That was like a guy, you know, that was sort of like spawning the monsters. But to be fair, that's what happened with that's what the original story was. He just wasn't there. It was the guy, the old guy that was in the first remake, which he was in the coffin. He was actually the guy that started the whole thing in the first one. So like originally the story was about a cult or, you know, a group of people that were willing ghosts into existence. It could be the same thing. I mean, that would be the, you know, I think maybe it's like, you know, a priestess type, a cult with a priestess, but the priestess is being controlled by, you know, the ghost of Winston Churchill or maybe Hitler. Hitler's a pretty bad guy. I don't know. I'm just spitball there. Oh, so she's like, what Disney? How about that? it's Kathleen Kennedy, inhabited by the ghost of I don't want to say Hitler, but Kanye West. How about that? She is the ghost of Kanye West. Going off the rails here. That's what the problem is. It's the ghost of Kanye West all along. I knew it. I knew it. No, that would make sense though. Like a cult with a leader who is either somehow they're incongruence with the ghost. I don't know if it's possession. That's a ghost thing, right? You know, another thing I did like about the new movie was that ghost that could possess things and become those things. You know, like the little, and it was like a little sprite. I think they ripped that off of the cartoon though. I think that was a ghost in the cartoon, if I'm not mistaken. It was from somewhere. You know, but it was cool seeing it in the movies. I think they could do a lot with that kind of ghost. You know, and they knew it. They knew what they were doing there. Maybe there's not a lot of substance. They got a lot of parts. You know, they have so many moving parts with that movie in that series, and it's just hard to get them all into one like cohesive narrative. But it's great. It'd be great for series. You know, they could have a whole series in that world. Ooh. Oh, it's just a 22. I thought that was different. I saw the banana clip. I got excited. How many bullets? 10. Nice. What if the copier, that's how it communicates? It's like it becomes good because all bad guys become good if they're in more than one movie, right? So it wants to help them, and then that's how it communicates by printing pictures out. But they're all memes, you know, like it communicates by memes. You know, one thing they were always going to haunted factories and stuff in that Ghostbusters TV show. That would be cool. Like, and that's the thing. You could just do small stories. Like, you don't have to have a big story every time. You know, what if they get a call for a haunted, you know, factory, like GM factory or something. Yeah, it can move. You know, it's because it's inhabited. Maybe it wheels itself around. Some copiers have wheels on them. Also, copiers can do those. Xerox copiers can do all kinds of stuff. Not to be weird nerding out about Xerox copiers, but they can connect to the internet and move files around, all kind of stuff. Actually, it's funny. That kind of thing could help podcasts with hacking. I don't think podcast is a hacker per se, but he seems like he could be. I think if I was that level of into technology, I'd be into hacking at least at a cursory level. But like if you had a ghost that would just hack for you, dang it, then you'd a master hacker. Is that a dud too? Dude, this dude went in the other door. They're like dumb, but they know how to go in the other door. Oh crap. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah. Damn it. It Staples the bad guy. Some of them have paper grinders, paper shredders in there. Oh. Some of them are all like a whole back office, you know. They're gigantic. I'm not. Yeah, they get called into like. I mean, they did it in the first one. They get called into one of those old hotels, you know, with the Art Deco style. There's a lot of Art Deco buildings, and maybe they go into one of the like. You never see murders in the building. Maybe they go into that place and there's a murder. But there's been so many murders. Oh, am I gonna live through this? No, I'm not gonna live through this. That there's just ghosts everywhere. They're like using the ghost as a sales tool. Yeah, that's what corporations would do. They'd be like, that's that's the bad guy. It's a corporation that is actually run by a high priestess cult, but they're just the board basically, and they look like corporate people, and they're using ghosts to sell products and just do general kind of like weird ghost stuff because, but that also ghosts are everywhere. Yeah, no, I'm taking it. I'm down. And the thing is, the Ghostbusters are trying to fight him. Oh, you know who could be the leader is Peck. You put Peck in there. He doesn't have to be the leader, but he could be in there being the lawyer, you know, telling them they can't come in here and stuff. It's like this is a perfectly, you know, safe place to you know, this is a perfectly incorporated license, blah blah blah. You can't come in here without a court order, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And Bill Murray makes fun of his dick again. I don't know. Somebody else could probably make fun of his dick. That man's poor dick has just been beat up all over the place. Peck is the VP, yeah, and he's actually the VP, but he doesn't even know that they are actually bad. He just is an idiot, you know. Like he's just there and he's taking a paycheck and he's just an idiot. Ooh, is that food? Yeah, yeah. Can I eat it? Oh, I can't eat it. Oh, is it bad? Yeah, no. Eat it. Oh crap, I can't eat it because I'm like sick or something. I wish it would tell you when you can't do things. Like basically I should just give up here because I'm about to bleed out and I don't think I'm finding anything before I do. But we'll never give up, right? Yeah, so Peck is in there. The priestess is probably new, but there's also a ghost in there too. I don't know what ghost. We could probably make up a new ghost. You know, it could just be a random guy that got killed in the subway one day. Like, you know how Ghost, remember the movie Ghost, had that ghost in the subway? That ghost, you know, that could just be the ghost. You know, make it whoever it is. It doesn't have to be anyone specific. Like, it doesn't have to be like that ghost. It's just a guy. It's just a person that died in the subway, you know, or in something. And maybe it's like the person died in the subway and they're angry because or whatever I forget what the Port Authority, whatever they call it, the TPA. I don't forget what they call it out there, but you know, then do some safety thing and they fell in the tracks. And then, you know, that was 100 years ago, in the 90s, in the 80s, 70s, 60s. I don't forget. What's 100 years ago now? Oh, the 30s. No, maybe it was 50 years ago. This dude is just hanging on for dear life. Man, just give up already. Oh, come on. He's passing out. Okay. Well, is this food? No. And it's just they've just been in New York the whole time. I guess that's what the fire starter was just somebody that died in a fire in the last movie. So it's been done. I'd like it to be original. I think if it was anything, but again, you could just do the boogeyman. I mean, they should just do the boogeyman. And like the boogeyman is the top floor. The C-suite's the second to top floor, and the boogeyman lives in the penthouse. And they go up there, and it's just like the scariest crap. And then they have to, you know, they end up blowing the roof of the building off again, and get in trouble for that. Yeah, like a fat guy, like the guy that was, yeah, like the guy that was oh, he's the old owner of the, yeah, that actually makes more sense. He is like he's the former owner of this company, which was at a time it was probably not a ghost company in the past. Yeah. Oh, and they run up through the company again. Yeah, yeah. So it was a corporation, big corporation. Say they were doing tech or whatever, but once the ghost came, they started doing ghost stuff. So when the old man died, he used the knowledge they had to turn himself into a ghost. Yeah. And then that's actually who is now. What happened is they somehow their cult is involved. I think maybe the C-suite turned into a cult. Maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe a C-suite is just a cult. That's the all the CEOs and that the people on the board. Maybe that is just so close to a cult we don't even have to say it's a cult. Maybe that's we just give them cult clothes in the end, like like red with pointy hats and like leather and stuff. Like like they have suits all the way up until things start getting really weird. And like of course they just want to destroy the world in the end. Like that's like they're opening a portal to the other side or something. And that's what like the Ghostbusters know about this. Somehow they uncover this. That's a pretty good story actually. I wish there, first off, I've written a script before. It takes forever. It's so hard to write stuff, and that would be such fanfic. But if good fanfic is like the basis for a lot of the modern stuff we watch anyway. Maybe that's the whole thing. It starts out that they're all spread out. Like, so Dan Aykroyd uh and podcasts are in Paris, and they're driving around in little something funny, something funny Paris, like you're a Paris kind of vehicle. Uh, Winston and Wolfhard are out in the Wild West, in the Midwest, trying to, because it's they franchise and they're worldwide now. Egon too and the family are trying to figure out what happened that caused the worldwide proliferation of ghosts. Uh, and uh, and then all three of them kind of discover stuff that leads them back to getting together, and then points at that corporation. So they all have to get together, but they're all separate. Trying to set up franchises. That's what they're doing. They're setting up franchises in Paris and the West and LA. I don't know who's going to be in LA. Wolf should be in LA. Maybe not. No, Wolf is in somebody else. Bill Murray. Bill Murray is in LA. I don't know, playing golf. I don't know. But that's the beginning. They're all spread out, and then through the movie we have to identify that the cult somehow the cult it probably started the thing, not the cult but the corporation, and then they have to get the team back together. It's because for some reason, you know what I mean, whatever. Yeah, and that's it. That's the whole story. I mean, there's probably more to it. Of course, there's scenes, right? I'll have to think about that one. I wish that they would, I wish there was some way of like see the problem is it's so popular that they can't hear everyone. You know what I mean? It's like it's a one way thing and you hear like everything and it's just like there's gonna be no way to like call Dan Aykroyd up and be like, bro, I got a story for you. You wanna save the Ghostbusters? Well, here it is. I'm sure there are 17,000 people in the world that think they can save the Ghostbusters. Trevor Spangler. He's Egon 2 then, and she's Egon 3 then, I guess. That's kind of like the sad thing about being a fan is that you really are stuff like that. You really are at the behest of the creators. Oh, she's 2. So he's 3 and she's 4. So you got to call him sub 1 and sub 2 or 3 and 4, yeah. I should name this stream how to save the Ghostbusters. A conversation while I play DayZ. Dan Aykroyd, are you listening? Please help me let me help you save the Ghostbusters. I think if you even so say some unlikely way that a fan was invited in to come and save the Ghostbusters, and that they had an idea that was so good and so fleshed out that they actually did it, they would then become the evil of the creator, because that after that they would think their creation is perfect and they wouldn't want to change it at all. You know, just like the creator. That's like the poison of the creator, I think. Because when you create something, it's like you think it's the best thing because it's I don't know because it comes from you, I guess. And it seems like that's like a really typical like everyone. Anyone I've ever met that did anything like that was like really thought all their work was amazing. Some people, a lot of people, and this is weird, have terrible work and they think it's amazing and they think it's like really good, you know, and it's bad. Um, there's a lot of people like that. That's why it's so hard to, I think, break into the anything like that, is because there's a lot of people that think their stuff is good, but it's actually very bad. And there's nothing you can do to help them, because every time you try to say anything, they lose their mind. Because it's like, it's weird. Weird. Yeah, it is. I think everyone should do it. I think it's a human trait, pretty much. I think just, if you do it, just, you know, just try to do it. I don't know. Just do it. I think it's amazing. I do it all the time. I love it. I don't do it well. I shitpost a lot. you know. Well, it's always about creative. There's always a creative criticism thing where you just take the criticism and then, you know, you fix it, or you know what I mean. Like there's differing levels. Sometimes things aren't fixable. That's another thing. Some people think that they spent 10 years on whatever thing they're doing, and then I don't want the wellies. Not, and then they automatically think that that's going to get them something, But in reality, you could spend 10 years on a turd and it's still going to just be a turd, no matter what. There's a reason why it hasn't already kind of like taken off at that point. Oh, well, that's the good. Yeah, that's it. You got to self criticize and edit self and do it again. I'm not I don't particularly do that. My arts are a little different. But it's the same. It's the same. You do it. Sometimes things work out really well. Oh, geez. Most of the time things work out like okay. Sometimes things don't work out at all. Most of the time things are, you know. But again, you're not going to get paid for that. You know what I mean? Not. I'm not talking about calligraphy. I'm just talking about any kind of art, really. Like you're not going to just get paid for okay work. You really need to take it to that next level to get money. You know what I mean? Ooh, duct tape. I don't think I need duct tape. Ugh. But the other thing I'd say about that is it comes in all shapes and sizes too. You know, like photography is one thing. That's fun. Photography is hard to get paid for too, though. You know, it takes like, well, it's hard to get paid for. It's more likely that you'll get paid to doing like weddings and other people's stuff by contract. You know, that's you'll get paid doing that. But like being an artist is, you know, like people do it. I'm not saying don't try, but there's just a lot of people in that world. There's a lot of people that just want to you know create and get paid for it, and they don't understand why it's not happening for them, and they're mad or sad or don't understand why they don't understand. But then you get the guys, the people that are like working, always working, creating. They're usually really really cool. The ones that just that understand that, you know what I mean, that know what they're doing. I'm not my most of my experiences with writing. I'm not really a photographer. I do writing. Uh, Writing is a hard. It's hard to get into writing. Not. It's not hard to get into writing. It's hard to get paid to write. I think to write your own stuff. Of course, you could get a job like writing for someone else, and but then the money is like kind of questionable too. Yeah, it's. I think it's just a matter of just keep plugging. You know, find what works. Do that. You know what? I like writing. I love writing novels. I wrote a couple novels in my time, and they're science fiction. So I don't know if you like sci-fi, but and they're like, you know, they're kind of more poppy, pulpy kind of things. Um, they it takes forever to edit anything that's worth a dang. So it's like I kind of like instead of like writing a novel, I just like making videos on the internet of art of like I guess the art is my commentary. I don't. So it's like I'm shit posting every day, or I put something really good out after 4 years. Every once in a while, I wouldn't call this art either. I think maybe just content is probably better. Just this quote, just content. You know, that's all it is really. Content fodder. There's probably some happy medium where I could spend like a week on something and then, you know, instead of yeah, like there's a place for it. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? All I'm trying to do is play this game. I talk about the game sometimes if I don't have anything else to talk about. I like the hoe. I know, pick it up. I think the problem is when you become like to the point where you have to live and you have to do something you don't want to do day to day. You know, a lot of people hate that. Oh, what's that? A box. And that's sort of where the that's sort of like kind of the pinch point I would say is that when you get to the point where it's like, oh, well, I want to write, right? So you want to write. Well, you should be writing every day, not you, but like if you want to write, a person that wants to write, not me. I don't. I'll take a break, but if you want to do it, you're going to get better at it if you do it every day. Well, if you take a job doing something else like accounting or oh, crap, you know, whatever it is, you know, that's going to take your soul. Well, it's going to keep you from writing every day or whatever, you know, whatever it is. And that's where like people, that's where the thing is. People don't want to do that. They want to write every day or they want to, you know what I mean? But they have to do the other thing, whatever it may be. it's a little bit of hubris. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. If you want to make money, that's what ends up happening. You're gonna end up taking it. Not you, but like I'm talking to the proverbial person. That's what ends up happening. You end up taking a job that's like they may seem that they're not going to be like that, but they are going to do that. If you're making any sort of money, the thing you work for yourself. That's that you're not on the clock there. But if you don't work, you're not going to get paid. So it's almost like you end up sacrificing all the time just to make sure you're getting paid. Making money. No, people don't like working. That's actually the funny. It's funny you bring that up. It's not a matter of people not wanting to work. People want to work. I think it's almost like that's just as engraved into like it's almost the same thing as this. It's like the art thing, the drive that pushes people to make art is the same thing that will drive people to have a career. Because some people don't care about art, or maybe there's some. I would even make the argument to some people's career there is art inside of that. There's not art, but they're doing it in a really like high level way is beautiful. Probably in some levels. There's morality after that, but um I think it's the same drive, right? It's like people want to work, so it's like the art thing is like I think the hubris comes in like people want to be Stephen King, they want to be like they want to be somebody that's like just known for being that person, and that's the jobs. When you're making money out there in the world, it's like you really do give up your name for a number, you give up your personality for professionalism. I think that there's some, and I think any lately now it wasn't always like this, and it's sort of like it seems like an ebb and flow. But corporations and businesses want to just squeeze every like little bit of, um, they just want to squeeze as much as out of you as they can, and they'll pay you. You're getting money, but they're gonna make you do things that you wouldn't, you know what I mean? That are way outside of what you think is, what makes sense for you to do, just because they're paying you. And they think that you know what I mean. They think that they're your god. Then I guess not to be offensive. There's a what, and the work life balance kind of comes into it, but then it's like now you're talking about like I don't know. You're talking about like other. It's like it's just gets complicated. People take advantage, and that's the problem. I think it's just everything seems copacetic in the beginning, but then people start pushing the boundaries, and it's just like oh well, if you don't like, do exactly what they want you to do every freaking day, or long term, they don't want they want you to do what they want you to do. Uh, if you deviate that from, they'll outcast you, and you know they'll they'll attack your character, and they'll make you seem like a bad person, all because you just didn't want to, I mean, in my experience, and specifically like when I left jobs, like I'm not a job, like I like jobs. I stayed there for years, but I'm not like a person that stays at a job for 30 years. And are my skills worth it? Absolutely. They're great, you know, but they're expensive. And I'm not talking, I don't want to get too much into my personal like stuff, but it's just like when I leave jobs, man, people act weird, and they just, and it's not like it wasn't like it's not like I left because it was just time. It was just time to move on. It's not, had nothing to do with them, but like then going around and like assassinating my character to other people and other employers, that stuff is so childish, like cheap, petty, right? Petty. But that's the world we live in. These people are petty. They don't, managers and stuff, they just want to take you for the resource you are, leave your name at the door. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. The cost of life, or that's a problem too right now. Inflation. Well, that's there've been a lot of the corporations find this gap in inflation, and they start jacking up prices. That hit the retail world. That hits the retail world pretty much, but not. Um, I guess it happens in employment world too. I mean, it's like they want to pay less now because the job market's bad. So they got these companies that are like just trying to milk it out and get people to low rates because all they care about are the numbers, right? Veronica, Yeah. Well, you got to be. I like your comment. If you had worked to my schedule, you need to pay me more. I like that. That's my thing too. Is if you want me to do like I'm getting paid for X, and I'll do X Y Z as what agreed. And if things change and you want me to do more, then yeah, we got to talk about money. The uh the problem is that they try to sell you these places as like families, like quote unquote, like you're in this family now, so you won't ever have to find a new job. But all that means is we're going to pay you nothing, or we're going to pay you very little and keep your increases low, just to keep you hooked into this place because, we're going to sell this idea of the world outside being kind of rough or whatever. Like, this is the family glow, and the minute you step outside of that bubble, it's like you're gone. But it's all fallacy. That's a joke. That's a lie that they tell you. That's a lie that they try to sell you. Is that it's a family? It's not. It's a money making venture. The Veronica, you're talking. I don't know. When you say Veronica cartoons, is it? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Veronica Mars? That's not Veronica. I was thinking Velma from Scooby Doo. My dad just asked me about Aeon Flux last night. I was like, oh, and he's like, the movie was terrible. I was like, I know. It's bad. But you should go watch those cartoons. They're great. They're amazing. They mess with your head a little bit, but they're good. Yeah, oh yeah, it's all tactics. That's what we're going through right now. The job market's really bad right now for certain like middle jobs. But it was bad for just middle jobs, and then all the lower jobs were actually doing all right for a while. So low income, I guess, is the way to put it. And then so that yeah, so it's like I don't know. There's just a lot of layoffs lately. The AI thing sort of is part of that. I think they're laying off a lot of people because AI is going to do some of those jobs now, which is whatever. I, for one, welcome our new AI overlords. Wink, wink. Damn it. Oh, is there like another way into this? Put that hard hat right over my hoodie or my boonie cap. Oh, I have seen that TikTok, or I've seen the TikTok. I don't. Is it a cartoon? I saw the one I saw was like there's a live action lady that goes into a lot of that too. She I mean basically it's just the same stuff. It's like, you know, getting calls on Friday night or like saying no. Yeah, basically you have to say no. I mean, but it's like they like withhold the money thing, and it's just I don't know. It's a big game, and they act like it's like this life or death thing, and it kind of is for some people. But oh, is that a person? That is a person. That's not a person. Oh, oh, damn it! So I picked this mallet up. Ah, yeah. No, I like those TikToks. I mean, it's the truth though. You have to really understand what you're doing, and I could tell you like way specific stories, but we're not going to do that today. I don't have Thor has all Thor the streamer the pirate software man. He has so many good stories about the corporate world. All my stories are depressing, and like people were crying and stuff, and it's just like, why they so mean? Oh yeah, they probably depressing. Are they all depressing? Nah, I made it. We'll see. I am pretty much lunch. I can't eat this. Why can't I not eat this? I wish I could eat this. Oh. Oh, I can't eat it. I had to take the lid off for some reason. No. Oh. No, I could pull this out. I don't know what to do. See, my problem is I kind of know how to live, but I really don't know what to do after that in this game. I should probably read about it, I guess. Just need that. Or out of houses. Oh, yeah, no. I like some managers. My thing with managers is like some managers are good sometimes, but usually things change so fast for managers. It's hard to really get behind anyone that you have trust in. It's like I have had managers that I trusted, but what happens is they get like orders from like above, and they end up changing the way things are, and it's just like, well, I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like it's like they don't tell you crap, so it's like you never know why things change, but you can't trust them. I can't trust them. Oh yeah, I am. Well, hold on, I'll do it in 1 second. I guess my stomach is full. There, it's. I don't even know. I'm not gonna describe what's going on. They're cleaning their underwear. Okay, with clean underwear. Oh, we're getting out of here. What is that? Are they T-posing? Well, I got some water. Food now. Yeah, they do that in um I don't know. In the corporate world, in my experience, it's like they just expect so much, and they don't uh like managers expect so much, and they'll push you. And like if you don't want to do it, like say you don't have time or you're doing something else, you say no, they'll get someone else in there to do it, immediately just to show you up, kind of. And it's just like, well, the person that got you in there is like he works 20 hours a day and he only gets paid salary like the rest of us. He's just kind of an idiot. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you say no, they're gonna just get someone like they're gonna just replace you with you being there with the work that needs to be done or something. It doesn't even make sense. I don't understand. Like, does that and then does that make like a good work environment to anyone? I don't I don't know. But that's just one of 1,000 things they'll do. The whole thing is selling the business as a family is the most sickening thing. Is it like or whatever your cult? You gonna give me blood if I need it? How about a liver? If I died tomorrow, how long would it take you to fill my spot? You know, it's like racing for Ferrari at that point. They had a guy on call already. you weren't even dying. We're not even talking about it. It's a guy on call right now, just in case, something happens on today. Because you are nothing to them, and the fact that they're even trying to sell you as anything else is just despicable. And that's, I don't know. I say that now, I'm going right back into corporate America as soon as I can. Streaming video games has been a nice little reprieve. Wish I could do it for a living, but I don't expect anything, and I think it would just, well, I don't think it's easy. Like, people see the big ones, and it's that same thing where there's a lot of people doing it and little bit of people like doing it, making money. It's like people see that and they think, oh, well, I can do it. I think if I was doing it for the sole person making money, I would hate it eventually anyway, so I might as well just go back to a job that I hate. And I'll stream like, after work, just like everyone else. Yeah, I don't want to get too specific. No, I know. I believe that 100%. Oh, I know it too. I know all that. I know that I was hitting that. I think I was hitting that threshold. Like, they weren't, you know what I mean? I was getting to the point where they were just like, you could tell, dude. You could tell when you tip the scales. They start like just being a certain way. But then they get all mad when you leave. It's like, well, you guys made this a transaction. I'm done. Pay up. See ya. I'll go do it again somewhere else. And I'm fine with it. That's the thing. I'm fine with it. It wasn't really a matter of like not even liking the job. I was just ready to go on. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go do something else. That's all. So it's like, but to them, it was like the worst thing that you could possibly do. Putting in 2 weeks in, it was like, oh, they didn't talk to me. They did all this stuff that was just really emotional, and I was just thinking to myself like, yeah, well, like, I don't understand. It's just a transaction, guys. You made that clear. See ya. Yeah, I know. Because I know that. I'm not saying that I don't bring anything to the table, dude. I'm like, it's like I know what I bring to the table. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even in question. I've done it for years. I'm professional. You know what I mean? It's like they pay high for it, but then they get the bookie bean counters people get involved, and then see, that's the thing. The managers change over, so you get a manager that comes in that thinks he's going to run it a certain way, and that's kind of what happened. It was like that. It was managers change, and like, you don't know this manager from anyone. And they don't really, and it seemed like in this case they didn't really even understand what we were doing, that was annoying. Like, they were just up in that manager world, like, level, like, arguing with other managers all the time, and that's what they like to do, and they were good at that. Apparently all the other managers liked that, but the manager was like never involved with any of the day-to-day. And then his idea was to get contractors, of course. So first thing they did was get contractors from India. No, from the Philippines, excuse me. And then second was to get basically, I don't even know what to call them. It's like they're working a salary, but they work all the time, like 16 hours a day. You know what I mean? It's like, and then they have everyone else is just like a normal, like, 8-hour worker, but it's like, this person isn't taking you more money. It's just, they're just a dumb. They're just so eager for satisfaction from the higher ups, and they get it. But also, then the product they're putting out is crap too. It's just like they're putting out all this crap to check these boxes, but dude, it is literal crap. It's literal, just like, they just don't. It's just like all it does is check boxes, and it's just functional. I gotta digress because I'm starting to get too techno into what I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it was really working for that. I don't think it was working anyway. Like, that guy actually had a lot of problems. That's another thing. He had a lot of problems because he was fighting with everyone all the time. So, like, he had no time to freaking help with the team at all. It was like, I don't think the guy even understood what we were doing or anything. You know what I mean? I think it was just I don't know, man. I just don't know. I guess it's like apparent that I'm salty about this position. I am salty about that position a little bit. I felt like it was weird when I left. It was like I just want to leave. Let me put my 2 weeks in. Maybe it wasn't like they didn't like it. Crap. I'll tell you, I'm much happier managing myself in the internet business. Yeah. Lunch. No, I know. Somebody said it was like. First off, actually, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a butt smack here. Is that I don't no politics in my no politics in my channel really. No politics, no hate speech, stuff like that. So I am gonna say something. It's like somebody on Reddit said that um getting Trump to put out the fire of inflation is like getting an arsonist to try to put out a fire. But I'm not like no more politics. We're not doing no politics in the channel. You know what I mean? It's just a slippery slope. I'm not saying what your comment was fine, but I just don't want to. You know what I mean? Yeah. I gotta just say, I just don't want. This channel is not that. It's not a political channel. We could talk about corporate America being. We actually a little bit. That's a little bit. We're going a little bit too far, even I think. Too. It sucks because well, I am on YouTube, right? So, but also I'm not trying to be like down in the dumps all the time. Actually, you know, it's funny. I've been out of work. I've been out of work kind of just for a little bit here. Not a lot. It's a couple months or whatever. Longer. It's been longer than I've ever been out of work before in my life, which is weird, right? And mostly I think. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. We're not going to get too much into it, but I have an interview at 2:30. I'm kind of excited about, so that's why I gotta go. Not right now, but in about 40 minutes. So there's always a new place that'll annoy me more, right? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm perfectly happy just streaming. I find that it's like it's kind of like a job, you know. I don't disability does sound well. You could stream, you know. You were mentioning like, do you stream? I guess disability seems like like a lot of isn't Boogie on disability and who else? The guy with the Star Wars the fat kid. I guess his mom was just had a house or something. I think disability, like if you were disabled and you wanted to start a streaming service, not disabled but like on disability, they'd be like all you had to do, because you're not getting paid for it in the beginning. You're not, you know what I mean? In the first like six, I don't know. It's been what, a year, for almost a year for me. So like that, I still like onesie twosies people, right? So it's like they're you're not gonna get money for a long time. But if you're getting disability, you could just run it until, you know, I don't know. It does cost. There is money involved with like advertisement and that, you know, and early on. But you know, you can. I don't know. It's not all that much. The computers, I guess, are expensive. That's kind of the cost for me. Is I have a couple computers and the game stations and the blah 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 and the, you know what I mean. To be fair though, I'm running this on an Xbox One S. So you don't have to get like high powered hardware. You can get like honestly, this Xbox One S is perfect. It has the stream looks nice because it's lower output, like it's not super high def, which is kind of like you think it would be like bad, but the problem is that when the stream comes out high def, it needs to be like downscaled. So, uh, if it's not as high, if it's more of like what you're outputting, which is, you know, YouTube is only 1080p, so it's less work. Oh, you get to keep, yeah, the insurance. Yeah, that's a kind of a gotcha, is like dental and insurance. health insurance. It would make it easier if that stuff was. It would make it easier for people to do things like super non-productive like corporate crap. If we had universal healthcare, although it would be, I don't know, it's expensive. Again, no politics, but yeah, I don't know. The rest of the world has it, but then again, they're saying that all the advancements and stuff are because of we do it here and all the money involved here. So they get to reap all the benefits, but we wouldn't necessarily have that ability. Yeah. Is there do I need a code? No, I have a code. I like the same code. They use you up. That's the thing, that corporate world, they use you up. And they spit you out. Sayonara, friend. They won't put you on disability for that? Yeah, basically that's how it works. You can appeal it. I'm sure you can. I usually help finds help in these situations is a well-written letter to somebody. I don't know who it would be to. Just that like states who you are and what's going on. You even and I'm not saying I'm not recommending this per se, but you could get the beginnings of it through ChatGPT if you wanted to. I never do that. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you could type out like, say you wanted to appeal, you got to figure out what kind of letter you need to write, and then you appeal or whatever kind of letter it is to. You go to ChatGPT and just say, write me a letter for this. You get the starts of it, and then you probably got to like take it and edit it, to your needs and liking. Oh yeah, the lawyer will do it. Yeah, I mean that's what the lawyer would do. Not they don't use ChatGPT. They use a legal hand, paralegal. Or they might be using ChatGPT. You never know. That's actually a good way to make letters now. Then you don't have to pay a paralegal. You pay ChatGPT. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't know, like that. I guess people don't like it, but to me, it's one of those things. It's like I was just what was I watching? Oh yeah, I was looking at internet memes, and the meme I saw, or it wasn't a meme. It was an image of a newspaper article or a newspaper image that was printed about how basically when electricity was first being used, there was a lot of people that didn't. There were a lot of people that were kind of like anti-electricity, or whatever. It's actually anything. Electricity is the one, kind of the big one. Ooh, what is that? Tire repair kit. Do you have a doctor on your side? Is it like debilitating pain? I guess I'm not. I don't think we probably shouldn't get too much into the bullets. What kind of gun is that? Ooh, and that's ooh. I know there's like a quick way to switch the. So I gotta go in inventory every time I want to shoot this thing. Well, it doesn't really matter because I need food anyway. I'm gonna die in a fucking second anyway. So if I don't get any food, is this food? Teddy bear? No. Oh yeah, well that will get you. If the doctors say it's okay, you just gotta get the doctors in there saying that you can't work because of what you just did. I'm not trying to defend that person, whoever said no, but they get 1,000 letters a day, you know what I mean? And they just have to, from whatever, they get 1,000 prompts a day that they just have to say yes or no to. You know, in the future, that job might be AI, you know, in which case it makes it even worse. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be like the AI is going to just match criteria in the request. Although it makes me feel like, well, I have no idea what the world's going to be like when that happens. We'll have to, get our popcorn and see. Oh, I looked in all these houses. There's nothing in here. It's like we're living the science fiction books from the 60s. That's our life now. I got a job interview in a half hour, man. I was supposed to. Well, I got to get off actually too, but I gotta reel back the crazy. Yeah, I mean AI is funny because it's gonna be part of. Yeah, it's gonna be part of all that. I was just trying to get jobs. They're like already getting. AI is doing the prompting. AI is doing the resume collecting and the filtering, and you're like 4 levels deep before you even talk to a person. One thing about it is if you do talk to a person, you there's interest, so it kind of does lower the amount of effort. But there's also this idea that like 99% of the time, right? 99% of the queries you send out are going to be just filtered by a robot. But like I'm saying, I don't think it's in the future. It's going to be like people are against it now, but in the future, it's going to be so ubiquitous that we can't even tell anymore. Same with what else are people bitching about right now? Oh, electric vehicles. That's the same thing. People don't like it. Well, no, I don't think. I think there's a lot of negatives to it. I don't think it's like, you know what I mean? And I don't see like IC going anywhere in certain situations, especially like off-roading. Like you're not going to want electricity. Those batteries are stupid for off-roading. Right now, in the future, there might be a battery that's the size of the regular. Like you have a battery the size of a regular, like a lead acid battery, that does the same amount of power output that the batteries that are the whole size of the car now. You know what I mean? That's only 10 years away or something. Maybe not. That's not that. You know what I mean? The batteries are gonna get smaller and smaller to the point where maybe it will make sense to be doing off-road. How about this? It makes sense, to have like a hybrid system, like a crazy hybrid system. It's like, you do have that ICE engine in there, but it's still like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like a hybrid, whatever. There's a bunch of hybrid systems already. I just think people are complaining about it and they don't like it and they're pushing back against it, but it's here to stay and it's going to be, we just need to, it's just our age is showing. That's all, It's like at some point we didn't have AI and now everything is AI. At some point we didn't have electric cars and now, well, not everything is electric cars. I think that one is more divisive than anything, but yeah, I mean that they're filtering the best candidates to top. Yeah, that's totally true. I guess the thing is, my experience lately has been also that there are still humans in the thing, like the recruiters. They filter out. I guess it's the medium companies that heavily use that stuff. The medium companies are like, because they don't have the money to pay the recruiters. You know what I mean? So it's like The medium companies and the smaller companies are the ones that are going to heavily rely on the AI filtering. The bigger companies can afford the recruiters, and the recruiters, have more of a human touch. But then that they have this old boy network too that they kind of, you know what I mean, where they're handing resumes to each other. This big circle, a circle Ouroboros. It's an Ouroboros. Ouroboros. I can't. We're keeping it clean because we're on YouTube right now. YouTube is like really against swears. So the first thing I wanted to say was I couldn't say it. I had to say Ouroboros. Yeah, they will. They already are. I think a lot of people are. Well, so here, let's talk about that Cybertruck, right? People hate it. A lot of people hate it. I, for one, don't mind it. I'm a little bit easier on these kind of things. I'm what's known as like an early adopter, per se. I think I like aspects of it. I will say that I think it was built cheaply. It was highly engineered, but built cheaply. And, uh, the looks, I don't know. I think they're all right. I think they work on you. It has like technical aspects that I like too. But I think, there's a lot of people that just outright hate it. They hate the fact that the rich people own it. They hate the fact that it's broken and they say, oh, it's bad. You know, the I think the reality of it is I don't think it's that bad. I think there's like if you look at the Whistling Diesel video of it, that's like there's good things about it. It took that C4 hit like a damn you know what I mean? Like I've never seen a car do that. That freaking thing stopped the C4 blast, whereas like the Ford it had a hole in it. It is cheap. That's my thing. It was highly engineered, but it was engineered to be cheap. And when they put it together really cheap. And but they're charging a lot for it, which is weird. But I think in the long run, it's not going to be as expensive. I think that was just the collector's item in the beginning. Yeah, no. Also, that folding door breaks. It has like gaps in it that water get in. I gotta go too. So we gotta wrap this up. But my dude's dying anyway. No, it has holes in it. It's not watertight, and that's where they put the extra battery. So doesn't make a lot of sense. Like Whistling Diesel jumped on it for a second, and it was like broken. That stupid door in the back. But again, that's not a. You know what I mean? That's just like a feature. Like a security feature or something that they added in. They were pulling off that video. If you haven't seen that video, the Whistling Diesel video, you should go watch it. They're pulling off that trim. You know how the trim goes up and around? Those are just pieces of steel. Yeah, thank you. Those are just pieces of steel. They were pulling off with like two fingers and stuff. They're just glued on there. What else? Oh, they broke the frame. So it's like the aluminum frame is cast. So, and the thing about casts are fine, but if they're hit in a weird way, they'll shatter. And that's what happened. It shattered. It snapped. And then the towing snapped. They will. That's the next thing. I mean, Rivian does something similar, but they're expensive too. No, I'm telling you, I think I don't hate it. Maybe I can't sway anyone. I haven't been able to sway anyone on it. Everyone I talk to is like they hate it. I'd like, and I think it's the 100% rule. It's not 100% good. So like people that they need it to be like 86% good. No, it's probably like 67% good. It takes a C4 blast, but that cast aluminum frame is questionable. And then the glued strips are questionable. The thing that'll cut out your fingers off, they'll probably add a sensor to that. And what else? Oh yeah, the back, the cover in the back is like weird. Dude, it has four-wheel steering though. It's like 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Well, the Rivian is like a truck, right? It has 4 doors and it's like, but it's also 90 grand. It's 112 grand or something crazy. Because they don't, they're losing money when they sell them. What else? Oh, the freaking Chevy has one, but it's also like 60 grand, 70, 80 grand for. It's like a truck. I don't know. Anyway, dude, it was great talking. It's good, everyone here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for coming. If you've been here for a while, thanks for that too. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Have an excellent day.